Okay everybody, welcome back to the channel. So this particular video we're going to take a look at a brand new putter from Ping, new range of putters, and to be honest the name is a little bit surprising really, to call it actually Ping 2021 putters. So there's not a lot of imagination gone into the name, but there is quite a bit gone into the design of this putter, which we're going to obviously run through in this particular video. Okay, so new lineup of Ping. I've got the Tyne 4, which is my sort of preferred shape, but there are now 11 different models in this particular lineup. It's like black head, we've got that sort of insert here, which we're going to talk a little bit about. We've got like a really nice black chrome sort of shaft. So first impressions, you know, taking the head cover off, it's a really nice, good quality looking product, as you'd always expect from Ping. So first maybe talking point to look at is the actual insert itself. So what we're seeing here, which looks and appears like a very sort of like a rubber sort of face insert with this sort of red section on the bottom. So it's more what they're calling like multiple layers. So think of it a bit like a golf ball. We've got multiple layers. We've got the outer skin of the ball, then the inner layer, and then obviously then you've got things like the core. So depending on how hard you're hitting the putt, you know, the length of the putt, you're going to use maybe these different sort of layers. So we've got a layer behind that's maybe quite solid. So maybe those longer putts where you would get a bit more of a solid contact, and then those shorter putts you maybe just not quite sort of compressing it as much, and you're getting more of that front layer, which is a little bit more of a rubber. And I must admit, first instincts when I made a few putts with this, when I first got it out of the wrapper, the feel off the club face was really nice. It was something that I really enjoyed. You know, it's a very soft sort of sound, very sort of muted contact, and very sort of soft feel off the club face. What you'll sort of notice as well on the putter face are these grooves, and the grooves are like really small and very shallow. So they're a uniformed groove right across the whole club face, very sort of tightly knit but very shallow. So what Ping is saying there is that creates a more of a consistent sort of roll and speed off the club face for obviously various lengths of putts. Now, as a multi-material head, we've got aluminium in here, we've got tungsten, and what you'll notice in the face of the club, in the heel and the toe section, are like two inserts. They're the tungsten inserts, which again, as you can appreciate, like what we may be seeing in more cavity back irons and perimeter weighted irons, we'll see that helps with the MOI of the actual putter itself. So those slight little mishits helps keep the putter face a little bit more stable. Again, especially on those slight little mishits around the club face, definitely keep it a little bit more stable, a little bit more consistent again on that ball or on that start line of that actual putt. So many of you may be seeing my review of the Hepler putters, which were adjustable, weren't they? And I always felt like the adjustable putters that Ping did, the shaft was always a little bit soft. You could sort of feel a little bit of give in the shaft as you made the actual stroke itself. What they've done now in this new lineup of the 2021 putter is now it comes as standard in a fixed length. Okay, but then you do have an option of purchasing the one that is also adjustable. You're going to pay a little bit more for that option, but I think it's good that you've got two options, because I think some golfers would, if you're going to get fit, you know, you're going to get into a certain length, and that length isn't really going to want to be changing, is there? So is there a need to have that adjustability in that putter? Maybe not. I just think that the shaft there is a little bit more stable, I find, in the standard length club, as opposed to that one that's a little bit adjustable. So grip wise, they've got three different options of grips that they're offering with this. Again, there's no extra charges for these. This is all, again, personal on your preference. I've got the Lampkin grip here, which is quite nice. It's a little bit thicker, it just sits in my hands a little bit more comfortable there, so I quite like that grip. Again, the grip's quite personal, and depending on what you're doing through your stroke, as a tendency, certain grips can influence maybe a little bit of that face control. Okay, so like I said, there are 11 different models, so there's a big offering now in this particular range. So I'm just going to quickly go through me. I can't remember all off the top of my head, but you got the typical and the very famous Ping Answer shape models there to start off with. Then got the Cushion 4, which is a little bit more like a square back sort of design. You're then going into like this, what they call the CA70, so a little bit more of a moon back design. The DS72, you've got the Fetch, which you'll remember was quite a popular putter in the previous models, with the hole there where you can pick the golf ball up. That's actually now covered over the top, but you still got the hole underneath, so you can still actually pick that ball up. You've got the Tyne 4, which is what I've got here, which I quite like that shape, always a popular shape again. The Tyne C is the same shape as the Tyne 4, but with the centre shaft option. You've got the Oslo H, a little bit more of a bigger moon back shaping on it, and then you've got the Harwood, which is a little bit of a big, it's a bit like a spaceship down the bottom of the shaft there, but it's a very big, obviously massive MOI, very forgiving, very balanced sort of putter. So you clearly see there's a lot of offerings there. Again, it depends on what you like the preference of. Certain ones will be more preference to your stroke. So, you know, whether you've got that sort of more of that straight back, straight through type of stroke, or you've got a bit of an arc or more of a stronger arc, certain putter models will suit certain strokes. Okay, so there we go. There's a new lineup of Ping putters. So the 2021 putters. It's a good lineup as always. I think they always make some really, really good options, don't they? So definitely something maybe for you to go and try. Maybe obviously if you can get into that fitting environment, great. You can maybe see which sort of head type would best suit your particular stroke. And obviously also I think it's important getting what looks right to you. You know, there's a lot of different shapes, as you can probably see with these types of putters, 11 different models, all different shapes. So they've just got to look right to your eye behind that golf ball. I'm a big believer that that's a certain shape, and the way the putter sort of sits behind the ball does make a big difference to me personally, and I'm sure it would do for you guys out there as well. So post comments down below, let me know your thoughts on the new 2021 putters from Ping. Very good looking putters, love to hear your thoughts as always. Have you been through that fitting environment, or you sort of golfer maybe just picking a putter up off the shelf, having a couple of putts and then sort of making your sort of purchase from there? Love to hear your thoughts on the way you're purchasing clubs yourselves. Okay, appreciate watching the video as always. If you enjoyed the content, do share it around, hit the like button, more important, subscribe, and hopefully we'll catch up with you all very soon.